We are all aware of a particular circumstance that has erupted, and those of us who are real American patriots recognize that great injustice is being done. We are opposed to that injustice, and we are very happy to have the next speaker here and in our presence. He is Mr. Petr Iliichev, the charge of the affairs of the permanent mission of the Russian Federation to the United Nations.
Thank you, colleagues, for a very warm welcome, and I'm grateful for Madame Roche for organizing your conference that is very pertinent to what we are discussing. I do apologize because of coming too late, but we had two meetings today at the Security Council, two major issues that are far away, but proving that we live in a globalized world, and this globalized world is moving in two directions. Sometimes we have very decent, very good consequences of globalization. Sometimes we have negative effects. So today we discuss Haiti, that looks more or less on a positive trend, but again, what the president just said, that mass migration of people creates more problems, but with the political will or with the due humanitarian attention, we can try and turn this negative phenomenon into benefit both for hosting communities, but also for those people who are traveling. And the second issue that we were discussing, it was Somalia and Eritrea, and you can also imagine that this is a very important topic, not only because of plight of the Somalis that are more than 25 years are deprived of statehood, of truly nation, but we did survive, and unfortunately we are located in such a strategic position that is being profited by everybody, by Western powers, by bad guys, Al-Shabaab terrorists, but now there is a clear linkage to Islamic State, but also the piracy. So we see that this globalized world requires also a globalized reaction, globalized answer. But coming back to the theme of your conference, I would like to say that international economic development and cooperations nowadays are a major driving force in the world that we live. It would be true to say that one of the main objectives of each country is to develop diverse economic, scientific, technological ties, not only between the individual countries, but also between the groups of countries. And those ties, this cooperation should be based on principles of independence, equality, mutual respect of each other's interests. Each country has its own strategic project, and we are proud of the initiative that our Chinese colleagues put forward. They drive to revive historic Silk Road and establishing two corridors, one on land and the other by sea. Will connect Asia via Central Asia, via Middle East, with the Europe. Indeed, this phenomenon of One Belt, One Road is a very promising project that will boost economic cooperation, but also will affect very positively geostrategic situation in that region. By tradition, my country, Russia, has been developing relations with Asia-Pacific countries. Of course, our strategic partner is China. We are developing our special relations with People's Republic of China. China is our biggest economic trade partner. It's our neighbor. We have common interests not only in the sphere of economic politics, but also other humanitarian issues like health, cultural exchanges. And we are trying to complement each other both on political and on economic dimensions. In fact, cooperation that we are having with China, it's the cooperation of strategic partnership. Last year, our economic cooperation came to a very high level. Our mutual trade reached $40 billion. The plans are to come to limit of $50 million, and I think that we are on the way. Well, this strategic partnership between Russia and China, it's not only in political sphere. Of course, we are two permanent members of the Security Council. We cooperate very closely at that August body, but also we have other organizations that we are trying to cooperate. First of all, it's Shanghai Cooperation Organization, but also others like ASEAN, like BRICS. Russia is trying to promote harmonization of economic formats that are there, and this harmonization should be done on principles of transparency, of respect to each other's interests. From our side, we are trying to build the Eurasian Economic Union, and we apply these principles to this economic format. And what we are trying to do, just not to create this new union, but also to expand its ties, expand its cooperation with other economic entities that are there. And we think that that's a good opportunity that we try to conjure privileges, favors that Eurasian Economic Union provides with this initiative of One Belt, One Road that China is trying to implement. In fact, we are trying to promote a broader Eurasian partnership so that other hubs, other formative centers in the Eurasian integration area can be brought even together. We are starting implementing this broader agenda. We're concluding an agreement with Vietnam between the Eurasian Economic Union and Vietnam on free trade area. Now we are in negotiations with China. So if we try to align this initiative of One Belt, One Road with Eurasian Economic Union, then that would be a huge incentive for creating Eurasian economic, not only economic trade, but space that will promote free relations of mutual understanding on this big space that we have. We are working not only with China, not only Vietnam, that India is forthcoming, Pakistan, all states that belong to Commonwealth of Independent States. President Putin said that he's going to participate in the summit on One Belt, One Road in May that is going to be held in China. Today he met with first Vice Premier of State Council of China and promised his participation and promised to look very attentively and very favorably to this development initiative. So we look for bright future of One Belt, One Road, and think that your initiative is very pertinent, and with our discussion, we try to contribute how to move it further. I thank you.
Now, since we realize that the representative from Russia has just been able to arrive, I'm going to take the prerogative to ask him a question which I think is important to the entire audience. Sir, among us, we are people who organize for a very specific vision of the world, and you've referenced it. And obviously, your nation has not been able to directly talk to the American people. You've talked at the United Nations, you're talking to diplomats and others. But here there's a cross-section of the American people. There are people here from many different parts of the country. And since you have an opportunity, I'd just like to ask you if you were able to talk to, in part here, you're seeing a representation of the American people and deliver a message to them as to what you think they should know about Russia and what you think they should be confident in, shall we say, about the intent of Russia toward the American people. What would you say?
Thank you. Mic is on. Thank you for this very difficult question, but I would say that we should not be afraid of each other. We should talk to each other. It's very important, and yesterday's negotiations of Secretary of State Tillerson in Moscow, both with Minister Lavrov and President Putin, proved that two major powers, two most powerful nuclear states, gain more than we are talking, but not than we are reacting and trying to build alliances and counter-alliances against each other. Russian policy was very clear from the very beginning. We don't want any special status in the world arena. We want equal treatment, fair treatment, not only for Russia, but for all other states. And if we can provide this fair treatment in all spheres, equal security, equal economic cooperation, equal exchanges between people, we are all going to gain a lot instead of trying to build new walls, trying to build new divides, trying to rebuild or strengthen those military alliances that exist. I don't know if I answered your question, but I will be more than happy to develop if there are more others. Thank you.
Sure, thank you. Right.